Welcome, dear listener. Tonight we walk in the garden of Saadi of Shiraz, where wisdom speaks softly and kindness is the highest knowledge. These stories and a few gentle counsels woven between them are meant to ease the mind and remind the heart of its quiet strength. You may listen with attention or allow yourself to drift into sleep. If rest is your wish tonight, you may set a sleep timer in YouTube settings and let the words fade naturally. And if these stories bring you comfort, you are welcome to subscribe so we may meet again in other peaceful hours. Now, breathe slowly and enter the garden. Once in a gathering, I saw a man who wore the appearance of a dervish, but not the character of one. He sat among the people with a book of complaints open before him, pouring out grievances and speaking ill of the wealthy. He claimed that fate binds the poor hand and foot, while the rich walk freely, their desires fulfilled and their paths unblocked. He recited verses saying that the generous have no money and those with money have no generosity. These words weighed heavy on me, for I myself had been raised through the kindness and care of great and wealthy people. I said to him, "My friend, the rich are the support of the poor, the savings of the secluded, the destination of travelers, the refuge of wanderers, the shelter of guests. They carry heavy burdens so others may live in ease. They do not eat until their dependents have eaten, and the leftovers of their generosity reach widows, elders, relatives, and neighbors. It is the wealthy who give charity and alms, who host guests and make vows." I continued, "Whether it is the power to give or the strength to worship, wealth makes both easier. Clean food strengthens devotion. Clean clothing supports prayer. What strength comes from an empty stomach? What generosity from an empty hand? How can weary feet walk far, and how can a hungry person do good? Peace does not walk with hunger, and focus cannot live in poverty. One person secures his dinner, another waits anxiously for it. How could these two be the same? The wealthy may have scattered wealth, but often they have gathered hearts. The poor, scattered in livelihood, are scattered in soul." So, the worship of those who are secure is more likely to be accepted, for they are present and focused, not distracted by survival. They arrange their worldly needs, then turn calmly to devotion. It is said, "I seek refuge in God from crushing poverty," and also, poverty darkens the face in both worlds. The man replied, "Did you not hear that the Prophet said, 'Poverty is my pride'?" I answered, "Be silent. That poverty belongs to special people, those content with God's decree, who stand firm in surrender, not those who wear the cloak of the righteous, but sell filth for bread. A dervish without understanding finds no rest until poverty drags him toward disbelief. One cannot cover nakedness without means, nor escape hardship without effort. God Himself speaks of the people of paradise as having known and secure provision, so that we understand. Constant struggle for survival steals dignity, and peace lives under the shelter of sufficiency. To the thirsty, even in dreams, the whole world appears as water. When I said all this, the dervish lost patience. He drew the sword of his tongue and charged at me with fierce eloquence. He said, "You praise the rich so extravagantly that one might think they are the cure of all pain or the key to heaven's treasury. They are arrogant, conceited, drunk on wealth and rank. They speak foolishly, look others with contempt. They mock scholars as beggars and brand the poor as worthless. They sit above everyone, blind to the sage's words. Whoever is richer in blessing but poorer in obedience is wealthy in form but poor in meaning. If a talentless man grows proud before a wise one because of wealth, count him no more than a donkey, even if his saddle is scented with amber." I said, "Do not condemn them so harshly. They are people of generosity." He replied, "No, they are slaves of money. They are like clouds that do not rain, like sunlight that gives no warmth. They gather wealth with pain, guard it with stinginess, and leave it behind with regret. One gains through toil, another comes and enjoys without effort." I answered, "You see stinginess only through the sickness of begging. The one who sets aside greed sees the generous and the miser as the same. The assayer knows gold, the beggar knows only who withholds it." He said, "I speak from experience. They block the doors with harsh guards and say, 'No one is home.' And indeed, where there is no wisdom or resolve, the doorkeeper speaks truth." I said, "They are exhausted by endless expectations and pleas. The eye of greed is never filled, as a well is never filled with dew." I once heard of a poor man caught committing a shameful act. Though he was filled with disgrace, he also feared death. He cried out, "O Muslims, I have no means to marry and no strength to remain patient. What should I do?" Those crushed by hardship throw themselves into danger, lose fear of God, blur lawful and forbidden. Hunger weakens restraint. Poverty pulls the reins from pity's hands. Many honorable people have fallen into disgrace through want. If a wild dog finds meat, he does not ask whether it is lawful. So we argued fiercely, blocking each other like chess players until his proofs were exhausted. When reason failed him, he turned to insult and violence, the way of the ignorant. He cursed me. I answered sharply. He tore my collar. I seized his chin. We fell upon each other as the crowd laughed in astonishment. At last, we carried our dispute before a judge and submitted to justice. When the judge heard our arguments, he lowered his head into the pocket of thought. After long reflection, he raised it and said, "Know this, wherever there is a rose, there is a thorn. With wine comes the hangover. At the head of every treasure lies a serpent. Pleasure is followed by death, and paradise stands behind trials. Among the wealthy are the grateful and the ungrateful. Among the poor are the patient and the restless. If every drop of dew were a pearl, pearls would lose all value." Then he said, "Those closest to God are the wealthy with dervish hearts, and the dervishes with wealthy resolve. The worst of the rich forget the poor. The best of the poor expect little from the rich. Whoever trusts in God, he is enough." He acknowledged that some wealthy are heedless and cruel, but also that others spread the table of blessing wide, seeking honor, knowledge, and the good of both worlds. When the judge finished, we accepted his ruling, let go of resentment, chose reconciliation, and embraced one another. And the matter ended with these words: "Do not complain of the turning of the world, O Dervish, for if you die in this very course, you are truly ill-fated. And you, O wealthy one, when both heart and hand are full, eat and give freely, for by generosity you gain both this world and the next." The first story has been spoken. Saadi often reminds us that wisdom does not shout. It sits quietly, waiting to be noticed. Let this thought rest with you as we continue. I heard that in a distant land of the West, two princes born of one king lived honored and blessed. Both were warriors, strong, brave, and wise, handsome in face and mighty in the eyes. The father saw each as fierce and bold, eager for battle, proud-hearted, uncontrolled. So he split his land into equal parts, giving each son a share before death drew near to his heart. Let them not clash, he prayed, nor rise against each other, drawing sword of hatred, brother against brother. Then time passed on, and the father died, surrendering his sweet life to the Lord of life. Death cut the rope of his worldly desire and closed the gate on all his deeds entire. Thus the kingdom fell to the two young kings, with countless armies, riches, and precious things. But when judgment came, the nature split. Each chose a path his heart saw fit. One ruled with justice to earn a noble name, the other ruled with cruelty to gather wealth and fame. One gentled his nature with mercy and grace, gave silver to the poor and eased their disgrace. He built for the homeless a shelter at night, fed his soldiers well and kept his lands bright. He emptied his treasury to strengthen his men, so joy filled his people again and again. In his land even Korah would walk unafraid, for the king was just and no poor man despaired. Never in his days did a heart endure pain, I dare not say a thorn replaced a rose in his reign. His fame rose high by heaven's decree, even the greatest bowed in loyalty. But the other brother, the one ruled by greed, sought to enlarge his throne and feed his endless need. He raised harsh taxes on farmer and town and crushed the poor to lift his crown. He set his eyes on the merchant's gold, and suffering fell upon the helpless and old. Hoping for more, he neither gave nor spared. But the wise know well that such deeds are ill-fared. As he hoarded treasure with grasping hands, his soldiers abandoned him across the lands. Merchants heard of the cruelty of his reign and fled his markets to escape his pain. Fields went barren, villages burned, for no harvest grows where justice is spared. As fortune turned her friendly face away, his enemies struck him one fateful day. The heavens uprooted his rules and pride. The hooves of foes trampled his countryside. Where shall loyalty be found when trust is stored? From whom will taxes come when farmers are gone? What goodness can the heartless hope to gain when curses follow them like a shadow of pain? When fortune darkened and turned from his door, ignored the wise counsel he'd been told before. His judgment was wrong, his planning was weak. He sought in cruelty what justice alone could seek. What said the wise to that once noble man? Show mercy, for the merciless never can. A man was cutting the very branch where he sat. The gardener saw and marveled at that. He thinks he harms me with this foolish deed, but harms only himself through folly and greed. Advice is precious if only heard. Oppress not the weak if you wield the sword. If you wish tomorrow to hold high command, do not make an enemy of the weak in your land. Do no harm, spare the weak from your might, lest your fall bring shame in all people's sight. For nothing is uglier to noble eyes than to see the fallen struck by those who rise. The wise, clear-hearted, and fortunate great gain crowns and thrones through virtue, not hate. So follow the path that righteous men show, and if you seek truth, hear Saadi and know. Before the next part, a gentle word from Saadi. He who has not tasted hardship does not know the value of ease. Hold this softly and let us go. You've crossed 50 years asleep. Wake now, if only for these few remaining days. Along this pride like wind, this rage like flame, you're only a drop, by roar like the sea. Old in years, yet still a child inside, a sage in beard, a boy in sense. You play your games while arrows of the sky fly past your ears from every side. As long as one lamb walks the field, the butcher wheel of heaven will keep turning. You light a candle in the wind. You build a house where floods must pass. Climb shatter's height, outshine the sun. Roam east and west till maps run thin. Outrun the wind, be soft as snow. Hold patience, power, wealth, and faith. Turn a stone to gold with clever hands. Death will not loosen his grip for you. The summit of perfection bends toward loss. Too much rain makes petals fall. Knowing where you start and where you end, what claim have you to pride? Remember, your pillow will be brick, though now your head rests near your friends. Your final sleep is underground, though now you lie in velvet rooms. The drum is beating, still you don't awake. Are you asleep or already gone? Silver tricks the word. You shake before it like mercury. This ancient world has seen enough. You cling like a wine that thinks it lasts. The wheel has turned, will turn again, and grind us all beneath its rim. You are measured by your mind and heart, not blood, nor rank, nor borrowed names. Your worth is faith and decency, not land, nor gold, nor flags you owe. A donkey stays a donkey still, even dressed in silk. If all you are is face and title, you're only paint upon a wall. You chase desire, thirsty for poison, calling sweetness. Do not sell yourself so cheap. You are a truth, a rare jewel. Move, struggle, reach for rescue. For wonder of wonders, you are drowning. Broken vows demand one cure alone. Return, repent, begin again. No door of the self-sufficient opens without humility and tears. You want the word by night and day, then ask why grace avoids your hand. How should your prayer be answered when your heart kneels at two altars? O God, what good are we? Be generous, you are the Lord of all. Knower of the unseen, gentle beyond form, cover of faults ever returning. Saadi says, do not seek truth in others if you can't find it in yourself. Weep for the ruin of the old man, still sticky mouthed like a child. Full of faults, you hunt the faults of your friends. Learn that lesson first. Know all the word without action, you're only a liar with a loud voice. Before true men who shine like suns, you are just a firefly. You grew old and missed the road. You are no elder, only a child holding a book. Many listeners may already be asleep. If you are, may these words move through you like a breeze. And if you are still awake, another story is on the way. Quiet, simple, and human. Long ago, there lived a cruel and arrogant king. His rule was harsh. He seized what he wanted and cared little for the poor. One day, he saw a poor man's donkey grazing by the road. Without shame, he ordered his men to take it. The man could not resist the king's soldiers, and his donkey was taken away. The king's stables were filled with many donkeys like it, thin, overworked, and starving. They carried heavy loads, were never fed well, and soon died under the burden. When fate favors a wicked man, the weight of his fortune falls upon the hearts of the poor. Some time later, the king rode out on a hunting expedition. He was cruel not only in rule but in sport. He loved the chase, not the mercy. He rode fast after a deer, but in his pride he lost his men and his way. As night fell, he found himself alone, tired and hungry, wandering until he reached a small village. There, an old man lived, a wise villager known for his honesty and insight. He had seen many kings rise and fall in his lifetime. That night, as the king rested nearby, unrecognized by the villagers, the old man spoke to his son. "My son, Do not take your donkey to the city tomorrow. The king is a man of injustice and misfortune. I can see the coffin that will soon replace his throne. He obeys no conscience, only the voice of his own cruelty. His rule has brought no peace to this land, and no man will ever call his days blessed. But son replied, Father, the road is long and rough. I must take my donkey. I cannot walk all that way. Tell me another way, for you are wiser than I. The old man thought and said, If you will listen to me, strike your donkey a few times, enough to make it limp. Wound it slightly so that no one finds it useful. This is the only way to save it from the king's greed. Remember the story of Khidr. He once broke a poor man's boat so that a tyrant would not seize it. People thought him wicked at first, but in the end his wisdom was revealed. Then the father turned his face toward the heavens and prayed, Lord of justice, grant me life long enough to see this tyrant's fall. Better that a snake be born than a human child of such a devil. Ah, cursed be that kingdom whose power leaves behind nothing but shame. The king, who had been nearby all along, heard every word but remained silent. He tied his horse, lay down on his saddlecloth, and tried to sleep. But he could not. All night he tossed and turned, watching the stars, haunted by what he had heard. At dawn, when the birds sang, he forgot his fears for a moment and rose again as if nothing had happened. His soldiers, who had searched all night, found him at sunrise. They ran to him, bowed to the ground, and surrounded him with cries of relief. One of his closest companions, who served him both day and night, asked, My king, where did you spend the night? We searched everywhere, sleepless and worried. The king said nothing of his encounter. He only whispered quietly to his companion, No one brought me even a bird for the hunt last night. Yet the words of one poor man struck me harder than any arrow. Later, in the palace, there was a grand feast. The nobles gathered, the musicians played, and the king's mood brightened. But suddenly, the memory of the old villager came back to him, the man who had cursed him. Anger returned. He ordered his guards, Find that old man and bring him here bound in chains. They captured the old man and dragged him before the throne. The dark-hearted king drew his sword. The poor man, seeing no escape, lifted his head and spoke calmly. O king, I did not speak only of you. I spoke of every ruler who lives unjustly. Why are you angry only with me? I said aloud what others whisper behind your back. Do not expect to be remembered with praise when you rule with cruelty. If my words offend you, then change your deeds instead of silencing me. The cure of tyranny is justice, not killing those who speak the truth. These are good words if you will hear them. If you do not, your regret will come too late. What use is the praise of your courtiers if old women in the streets curse your name? I speak now with a sword above my head, for the soul speaks clearest when death stands nearby. The king, struck by the old man's courage and truth, came to his senses. His pride melted, and a voice, gentle and unseen, whispered to his heart, "Spare this man. Among the thousand you have wronged, let this one live." The king bowed his head ashamed. Then, lifting his sleeve as a sign of mercy, he untied the old man's chains with his own hands, embraced him, and kissed his forehead. He said, "You have spoken truth. From this day you shall be honored." And he appointed the old man to a place of dignity and command. From that day forward, the king's fortune changed. Peace returned to his heart, and justice entered his rule. The story spread through the land that blessing follows the just and curse follows the cruel. Learn virtue from the wise, not fault-finding from the foolish. Listen to the truth even from an enemy, for a friend sees only your best side. To give sugar to the sick brings no cure. The bitter medicine, though harsh, heals the pain. Stern word from the wise does more good than a sweet lie from flatterers. The wise need only a single sign. The foolish would not learn even from 100 tales. If one of these stories stayed with you, you may share its name in the comments or leave a single word. These reflections often comfort others as much as they do ourselves. Now, keep walking with me in the garden and listen to the final story. Once upon a time, there was a boxer who, frustrated with the world's hardships, found his generous spirit stifled by a lack of means. He went to his father to complain, asking for permission to travel. I wish to seek my fortune, he said, hoping to grasp a piece of happiness with the strength of my arms. He then added a proverb: talent and skill are wasted if they are not shown. It's like a piece of wood that doesn't smell like sandalwood until it's burned, or musk that doesn't reveal its scent until it's ground. His father replied, "My son, cast away these impossible dreams. Be content with what you have and remain in a safe place." The wise have said, fortune isn't found through striving. The best remedy is to calm your ambition. He then recited some poetry. No one can seize fortune by force. It's as useless as applying coal to the eyes of the blind. Even if you have 100 brains in your head, wisdom is of no use when your luck is bad. The son countered, "Father, there are countless benefits to travel. A refreshed mind, gaining profit, seeing wonders, hearing strange tales, exploring cities, befriending strangers, earning status and knowledge, increasing wealth, and gaining experience." As the travelers of the path have said, as long as you stay stuck in your shop or home, you will never become a true person. Go and enjoy the world before the day you must leave it. The father responded, "My son, the benefits of travel are indeed as you say, but they are only guaranteed for 5 types of people. First, the wealthy merchant who, despite his abundance and power, has delightful servants and quick-witted apprentices. He is able to enjoy the world's comforts, moving from city to city, place to place, and amusement to amusement. The wealthy man is not a stranger in the mountains, plains, or deserts. Wherever he goes, he sets up his tent and makes his home. But the person who can't achieve what he desires is a stranger in his own home and unrecognized. Second, the scholar who, with his sweet logic, eloquent power, and master for rhetoric, is welcomed and honored wherever he goes. The existence of a wise person is like pure gold. Wherever they go, their worth and value are known. But an ignorant person of higher birth is like a counterfeit coin, which in a foreign land is not accepted for any price. Third, a handsome person whose company is sought by people of high taste. The wise have said, a little beauty is better than a lot of wealth. They also say a beautiful face is a balm for broken hearts and a key to locked doors. Therefore, a handsome person's company is considered a prize everywhere, and serving them is seen as a blessing. I saw a peacock feather in the page of a holy book and asked, "I see this honor is due to your value." The feather replied, "Be silent, for whoever possesses beauty, wherever they go, hands do not push them away." Fourth, the person with a sweet voice who, like David throat, can stop flowing water and birds in flight. Through this talent, they capture the hearts of admirers, and those with a taste for meaning seek out their company and serve them in various ways. A pleasant voice is better than a beautiful face, for that is the pleasure of the body, but this is the nourishment of the soul. Or, he continued, the humble artisan who, with the strength of the arms, earns just enough to live so they do not have to beg for food. As the wise have said, if a shoemaker travels from his own city to a foreign land, you won't suffer hardship. But if a king falls from power, he will sleep hungry. Such qualities as I have described, my son, the father said, bring peace of mind and a good life to those who travel. But he who is without this will wander the world with a false hope, and no one will ever hear of his name again. The son replied, "Father, how can we go against the words of the wise? They have said that although one's livelihood is predetermined, it is necessary to pursue the means to attain it. And although calamity is decreed, it is our duty to avoid the doors through which it enters." He then recited this verse: "Although one's livelihood is sure to arrive, it is wise to seek it through the proper doors. And thou no one will die before the times. Do not walk into the mouth of a dragon." In my current state, I will fight a raging elephant and wrestle with a fierce lion, the son exclaimed. "So it is best for me to travel, father, for I can no longer bear this poverty." He continued, "When a man falls from his home and his place, what else should he mourn? The whole world is his place. At night, every wealthy person goes to their own home, but wherever night falls, that is the home of the poor." With that, he said goodbye to his father, asked for his blessing, and departed, saying to himself, "When a talented person's luck is not on their side, they go to a place where the name is not known." And so he traveled until he reached the bank of a river so mighty that its waves crashed the stones together and its roar could be heard for miles. It was a fearsome river where a duck would not feel safe, and even the smallest wave could steal a millstone from its bank. He saw a group of people, each sitting by the river with a small coin, ready to travel. But the young man had no coin to offer, so he began to plead. No matter how much he begged, they would not help. The merciless boatman laughed and said, "If you have no gold, you can't cross the river by force. What is the strength of 10 men compared to the gold of one?" The young man was angered by the boatman's taunt and wanted to take revenge, but the boat has already left. He shouted, "If you are content with the clothes I am wearing, they are yours." The boatman, greedy for the clothes, turned back. Greed blinds the wise man's eye. Desire traps both bird and fish. As soon as the young man got a hold of the boatman's beard and collar, he pulled him close and began to beat him mercilessly. The boatman's friends came out of the boat to help, but seeing the same ferocity, he backed away. They had no choice but to make peace with the young man and let him cross for a fair price, for all appearances of compromise are charity. With sweet words and kindness, you can pull an elephant with a single hair. They then brought him onto the boat and set off. They soon reached a pillar of a Greek structure standing in the water. The boatman said, "The boat has a problem. One of you who is brave must go to this pillar and tie the boat's rope to it so we can fix it." Filled with the pride of his own bravery, the young man did not consider the anger of his enemies. He forgot the words of the wise, "Whoever you have caused pain, even if you follow it with 100 comforts, you are not safe from the consequence of that one pain. For the arrowhead may be removed from the wound, but the hurt remains in the heart." As soon as the young man wrapped the boat's rope around his forearm and climbed to the top of the pillar, the boatman cut the rope from his hand and sailed away. The poor man was left in the state of confusion. He endured hardship and suffering for 2 days. On the third day, sleep overtook him, and he fell into the water. A day and night later, he was washed ashore with only a trace of life remaining. He began to eat tree leaves and plant roots until he regained a little strength. He wandered into the desert until, thirsty and exhausted, he arrived at a well. He saw a group of people gathered there, each drinking a sip of water for a coin. The young man had no coin. He pleaded and showed his helplessness, but they showed no mercy. He tried to take the water by force, but was unsuccessful. In his desperation, he beat a few of the men, but they overpowered him and beat him severely, leaving him wounded. When a net is full, it can beat an elephant, for all its might and ferocity. When ants are united, they can tear the skin of a fierce lion. Out of necessity, he followed the caravan. The night they reached a dangerous place, known for thieves. He saw the travelers trembling with fear, their hearts filled with dread. He said, "Do not worry, for I alone can face many, and the other young men will also help." With his boast, the travelers were reassured, and they were happy to have him among them. They felt it was their duty to provide him with food and water. The young man's stomach was burning with hunger, and he had lost all patience. He ate a few mouthfuls with great appetite and drank some water, and he fell asleep. There was a wise, experienced old man among them. He said, "Friends, I am more worried about this escort of yours than about the thieves. How do you know that this man is not also one of the thieves who has been planted among us to alert his friends when the time is right? The bite of a tooth from an enemy who appears to be a friend is worse. I believe it is best to leave him sleeping and move on." The young men found the old man's advice convincing and, filled with a sense of dread for the boxer, packed their belongings and left the young man sleeping. He woke up when the sun was burning his shoulder. He got up and saw that the caravan was gone. The poor man wandered and could find no path. Thirsty and destitute, he lay on the ground, his heart ready to perish, and said, "Who will talk to me now that the caravan is gone? The only friend of a stranger is another stranger." As the poor man was speaking, a prince who had been separated from his hunting party stood over him, listening and observing his appearance. He asked, "Where are you from, and how did you come to be in this state?" The young man recounted some of his misadventures. The prince took pity on his ruined condition, gave him robe and gifts, and sent a trusted man with him to his own city. His father was overjoyed to see him and gave thanks for his safe return. That night, the young man told his father about everything that had happened: the state of the boat, the injustice of the boatmen, the villagers at the well, and the betrayal of the caravan. The father said, "My son, did I not tell you when you were leaving that the poor are without strength, and their powerful clothes are broken? The son replied, "Father, one must suffer hardship to find treasure, put one's life in danger to triumph over an enemy, and scatter seeds to gather a harvest. Do you not see that with a little hardship I have gained great comfort, and from sting I have brought back much honey? If a diver fears the mouth of a shark, he will never grasp a precious pearl." He continued, "The lower millstone does not move, so it must endure the great weight. What does a fierce lion eat at the bottom of a cave? What strength does a grounded falcon have? As long as you try to hunt while at home, your hands and feet will be as weak as a spider's." The father said, "My son, this time fate helped you and fortune guided you. A man of wealth came across you and had mercy on you, and with his kindness repaired your broken state. Such an event is rare, and one cannot rely on what is rare. Beware lest you be greedy again and fall into temptation." He then concluded with a proverb: "A hunter does not catch a jackal every time. Sometimes a leopard may eat him." The stories have come to rest. Saadi would say that the best wisdom is the one that makes us kinder, even in our sleep. There is nothing more to do tonight. Thank you for sharing this quiet time. May your rest be deep. May your dreams be gentle. May tomorrow meet you with a calmer mind and open heart. Wherever you are, may peace find you easily. Good night.